Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Thirsty Thursday! And there's Jocelyn and Flynn and Noreen and Nancy already in the house. Cheers! I'm so glad you're here. How's everyone doing on this fine Thursday? Hello, Catherine. There is nothing like a little hot milk mix to break your fast. Carla, Martha, so good to have you here. We're talking about hot milk mix, y'all. Exogenous ketones and electrolytes. I mean, 2 in 1. This stuff is thebomb.com. You can find out more about it. We'll post a link for you. Don't forget also that our show stopper of a supplement of the week is Get Lean CLA. I love this stuff. It is, they've done studies on women. Get this, belly fat and thigh fat. It is effective against. You can find it at PubMed if you go in there and just put in belly fat and thigh fat and conjugated linoleic acid. There you go. And bada bing, bada bang, savingdinner.com/show. You can buy 3. You're going to get that 4th one for free. Don't you love that? I love a screaming deal. Hi, Lucy. I'm glad you're here. Great to have you here. And oh, there's my girl, Carla. Hello. The other thing that I want you to know about that is super important is that our sale is coming to an end. Our 50% off sale. That will be gone at the end of this week. But in the meantime, what a great Mother's Day gift. Am I right? I mean, things like I've got Grit, Not Quit. We've got a couple of other mugs. They're half off. And also all of our quote decks are half off. I want you to start thinking about this. Well, don't think too long, but it's going to be here before you know it. I mean, we're coming around the bend right here. We're almost done with April, going right into May. And here's the deal. These quote decks with the little stands that come with them have the ability to change your life. Because what you think about, you bring about, you know. And if you're looking at something that is constantly lifting you up and bringing you back to the center of who you truly are, that is going to have an impact on you. I know it has with me. Hey, Deborah, Darla, good to have you here. So I say to that, yes, indeed. Write me down for that. savingdinner.com/sale. Secondarily, to all my text messengers, hello. Did you love your free spa menu? I bet. Go get it. Go get it. Oh, you didn't wait. Some of you didn't get it, did you? That's because you're not getting our text messages. We give stuff away like this all the time away. Go. This is how you're going to do it. It is super easy. Join is the word that you're going to put in when you text this phone number, 855-960-3720, and it's all in caps. And then we reply to you, and you reply back, yes, all in caps. That's how it's done. Hey, Debbie. It's easy. So get on that. You don't want to miss out on that. That's all there is to it. And speaking of easy, it's easy to ask me questions. I won't make you pay to ask me a question. You want to ask me a question? Today is the deadline. Pretty much at the end of the show, get your questions in. It's an email. Send your email to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes in the subject line, and we will take care of whatever's on your little heart. I promise you, we do that. I think it's pretty cool. Next Thursday night? I think a week from today, we are having our confidence webinar. I believe one of the missing ingredients to most women's lives are self-confidence. We think self-confidence is one of those things that you either have or you don't. You know, kind of like, do you have a turned up nose and freckles? You know, you're just born with it. That is so not true. It's taught. Go to savingdinner.com/webinar and you'll get a little link to sign yourself up for this webinar. It's that simple. Who's coming? And even if you've already bought the course, and I've got a lot of people who have, still come to the webinar. It's going to be great. Now, this is an 8-week course. I will be teaching it. I will be doing hot seats. It's every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. You can find out all about what this course is about at savingdinner.com/confidence. That's how you get there. And it's going to give you all the information about it. And I will tell you, this is the next level up. It's not for everyone, but it's for women out there. I mean, when you read this and you get a little stirring in your heart, and you're like, ooh, yeah, I want that. Come, all right? Just trust. Come on down. We're gonna do the thing. And I mean, it's going to be really something else. So I told you about the sale quote. Sale. Don't forget that, because it's gone as of Friday afternoon. We'll let it go over the weekend, but after that, it's out. So don't miss out. Look at this. This is our quote of the week. What you do today is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. That's a real stomper, isn't it? It just whispers in your ear, lovely, your time is exquisitely important. Don't waste it. Don't kill it. Don't stomp on it. Don't dismiss it. Cherish it. Treasure it. Value it. Invest in your time. And it'll invest back in you, I promise you. Really good one. Hi, Alice. So that's what I have for you today on there's your announcements. Bada bing, bada bang. This week we've been talking all about, I cannot not say this. I will go to TikTok and even tell you what's going on, because if you guys been following our TikTok, we have got videos blowing up. One that this morning had 19,000 views. It's got 31,000 views now. Go watch it. We're at Saving Dinner. If you go to TikTok, if you've got the app, at Saving Dinner. Next Monday, we'll be back to doing lives with Instagram. This week has been a little bit off, and my phone's been a little bit wonky weirdo. So, whatever. Hey, Lisa. We just deal with it, right? We do the best that we can with what we got. Anyway, I do appreciate all the follows and the help with that. Social media it's an algorithm. You love seeing me on TikTok. Thanks, Darla. Hey, Corliss. It's fun. TikTok's fun. It's just like 15 seconds, 30 seconds or a minute. It's just, and this is stuff you're not going to see anywhere else. So just what I'm going to say, it's part of what you need to do. Right? Help your sister out. That's me. This is how we bring women into our community, by the way. There are women out there who are struggling. There are a lot of women out there they're on the carousels of crazy in their lives. They're thinking, is this all there is? And they can't find anybody online to be supportive and care and love them up. Well, they haven't met you yet. They haven't met our community. We have an absolutely outstanding up-leveled community. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I've been on Facebook since the beginning. I started groups at the beginning when you could. And this Hot Melt Sprint group, unbelievable. And then I would go even further and say, and then if you go to the Inner Circle group, holy cow. We are blessed. Can I just say that? So as you help us out to get what we're trying to get done over there, you're also bringing in women who are desperately looking for us. So I thank you for that. This week, we are talking about pros versus amateurs. We're making this contrast because I think it's important for us to know that if we are going to get to this apex of what our goals are, we're going to have to do it with a different mindset than we've ever had before. You get me? That's what we've been talking about. And just for fun, I've been using the term being a professional versus being an amateur, because there is a huge dichotomy there. And yesterday we took a deep dive into inspired action, what it is, how to use it, how to leverage it, how to get it, and how to move so that you can absolutely take the right kind of action in your life and really move the needle. And when we talk about moving the needle in our lives, we're not just talking about the scale and what's between your toes. We're talking about every aspect of your life, because we value and look at the whole woman. I had a woman who asked me, she said, well, she said, calling me shallow, but I want to get it back into my size 6 jeans. And I don't call any woman shallow. There's nothing wrong with wanting an aesthetic. There's nothing wrong with that. And if that's your goal, great. But I say, especially for most women that I know, if we really look and focus on our health and being in optimal health, the weight stuff takes care of itself. That's the thing that's so glorious, We don't have to kill ourselves to get there. We just have to take exquisite care of this little container that's been given to us by God himself. It's the only one we've got. So today we're going to piggyback on this whole idea of inspired action by switching our focus from specifics and why it's important to not confuse specifics with details. Okay, this is important because this is how we set up and get to the next thing. So let's just say that the preamble for all of this is that this is the starting gate. This is the starting gate to get there, with all the other stuff, of course, that we talked about this week. First of all, you need to have a goal light you up with hot desire. Right on, amen, pinkies up. Do you know that feeling of hot desire? Inside, you're just thinking, that is exactly it. That's what I want. That's what I want in my life. That thing, that idea, that whatever it is, that job, that start thinking about what is it? What would light you up? One of the things for me that would light me up is being able to gather my family together for different occasions. So my goal on my vision board is ski trips in the winter and some kind of a summer trip in the summer. And we'd pay for it all, Mark and I would. We'd pay for it all. And the reason why is these years are precious, These years are precious, and we don't have any grandchildren yet, but someday maybe. And we want to be with them, and we want to make sure that we have occasions that we gather together. To me and to us, holidays are fine, but you're always going to have in-laws tugging at your kids. But if you make plans way in advance, you can make and bring family together. There's no one who I'd rather spend my time with than my family. My kids, I had Caroline and Sam over last night. We had the best time. We just talked and we discussed different things and from A to Z. But just being with them just lights me up. That's my very hot desire. That's my big why on why I want the things that I want. And that's a good thing. And we have to look beyond just, man, I just would love to drive that car, into what is the bigger why from there? How is this going to affect humanity? How is this going to benefit others? And in my mind, having this goal with my family is more, it is about making memories, but it's even beyond that. It's about leaving a mark with all of us, them leaving their mark on me and me leaving my mark on them. I want them to know me all the way. And same with Mark, and same with all of our kids. That's how we feel about it. And that is incredibly important. That hot why has become a very big burning desire. Number 2, your why is bigger than your excuses. When we are like my whole goal about being an athlete, boy, today I didn't want to do it. Can I just tell? I just didn't. And I didn't want to get on that bike. So I picked up an audio, did a 20-minute hit run and walk outside, took the dog, double whammied it. And my why is so much bigger. Athletes don't, have you ever seen an athlete who said, I just didn't feel like doing it today? Diane, did you think Diana Nyad did? We talked about her in a lot of detail yesterday. Do you think Diana Nyad said, I'm just not going to train today? I'll just wing it and see how I do crossing the ocean? Of course not. And do you think every morning when she woke up, she was saying, I'm on fire, I can't wait to do this? No, of course not. But our consistency is absolutely driven by this why. Absolutely. We show up even when we don't want to. We don't have excuses on hand. We just do it. And that's one of the biggest things. It's a tough thing to get over, but honestly, it's just a mindset that you choose and you decide upon. Number 3 is, despite the inconvenience or discomfort, you're willing to go there. You're going to go outside and get sweaty. you're going to have maybe not the best time. And maybe it's going to hurt a little bit, or it's going to be uncomfortable, or you don't like it, but you do it anyway. I'm having that whole discussion right now with myself about my bike, you know? And I've got a guy that I've known for years, copywriter, that sweet guy that I've known. And he said, listen, the way that he's done it, because he's gone like 45 days straight with it, is he just, he started being accountable. And he said, you want to be accountable to me? You know what? When somebody calls you to that kind of a thing, take them up on it. That's what I have to say. That's how body clutter buddies get to the place that they get to. Do you know, the research is so interesting on this. It shows that Lone Rangers just don't, this is why 97% of the women who lose weight gain it all back. They're Lone Rangering it. They're doing it all by themselves. But they find accountability really helps. And so, accountability is great. But they found that women will get to the place of being 90% effective at getting it off and keeping it off if they actually create accountability meetings with their accountability partner. 3:00 Friday, let's get on the phone and we'll talk about it. They share food journals, and they're really raw and bare, and they tell all. When we do this, we are committing to ourselves, and we're committing to another person. It's a great big deal. So think about that if that's not something that you've done yet. And maybe what you do is you go to the Hot Melt Sprint group here on Facebook, and you say, you know what? I need an accountability partner who wants to be my body clutter buddy. And away we go. So there's a significant, those three things are really massively important, but there's a significant dynamic going on once you've launched your goal. Have you noticed that? Fired it up with inspired action. And did you watch yesterday's show too, by the way, talking about that? That's what I would suggest you do if you want to really know exactly what is inspired action versus just taking regular action. And that's being specific, but not being hung up on the details, because this is really important. The house that I'm in is an absolute example of the whole thing. Absolute example. So I've shared my vision board before and talked all about that. In my vision board, in it, on that left quadrant, that's right where your eye has a tendency to go, is a big, big picture of a big water view with a dock and a big tree and a bunch of stuff. My house doesn't look anything like that. My house, though, does have a water view because we're on the water. It does have a dock and there is a boat. And that was all part of my dream. And so I want you to know that the specifics of what I wanted weren't laid out, but the details were. Does that make sense? I didn't specifically have to say, I need to have that oak tree with the hanging moss. That's what this one had. I didn't want that. I just wanted a lakefront house with a dock, with a boat. And I wanted the boat to fit as many people as I could, pontoon. And I wanted it to be a place where I could gather like-minded women together, like we're going to do July 29th for Full Bloom, where I could serve, where my mission is to uplift and bring other women along with me. That's my mission. And here I get to do that. And here we are. That's what all of it was. So this helped me a lot with my visualization. It also helped me a lot when I went out and we went and looked at houses, none that we could afford. And I sat there with my phone doing all those phone memos talking about how I'm standing on the dock, looking out, looking at my view. There's my boat. There's my everything. Did the whole thing. And all I needed to know was that this was the thing that I wanted. And these were the details for it. Okay. So my view, I explained how all of that was different and how my view was all that different, but this is also the specific without the details. Am I saying it right? Specific without the details. It is specifics without the details is the point. I meant to say that. If I screwed it up, sorry. But it's an act of faith, that this is the thing that's going to come along and do and come alongside and be in my life. And I will also say that if you're finding that this is not maybe happening for you, and you're thinking, yeah, I put a lot of stock in that, Leanne, it's just not happening, then I ask you to go to step deeper. why do you want this? Is it just to have the thing? Is it for a status symbol? Is it for whatever? Or is there a deeper purpose for it? Because I find that when you go for a deeper why and what it is that you want to do, how you want to serve, and how you want to show up, then things start to make sense. And the reticular activating system is going to go bonkers on your behalf. That's part of your brain. And it's going to help a lot. So you have to hold tightly to what it is that you want. Generally, just generally, I want this thing. I want to do this good work. I want to help these people out. This is how I believe. This is my vehicle. This is how I believe that I can do it. And then what we do is then we let go of it. You can visualize, you can see it or whatever. You can write affirmations about it. You can have it as a goal. Sure. But then you have to let go of it and let God fill in all the details, because he's really good at that. And bringing right into your life the exact thing that you need. I didn't think my house would look like this. I didn't think, there's a whole lot of things that I didn't think about, but it's all worked out well. There's a place for everything here. There's a place for everyone here. And there's lots of room to have people here. And I'm able to serve and hostess and love up and offer hospitality. What a gift. So this is what the pros do. They recognize and they know that faith without works is dead. Ever hear that one before? So that's why we put next to this inspired action. And pros also recognize and realize that God is in the details, period. And they allow for those details to be held loosely in your hand so that God can do the work that he's going to do and surprise you and delight you. I noticed that before too. If we allow him to do all of that specifically with the details, with everything that we hotly desire, we're going to be absolutely 100% delighted, inspired, and surprised by the gifts that God decides to give us. I just want to say this. It's really easy to get discouraged and think it's never going to happen. This was on my board since 2018. 2018. And I did get all worked up about it. And I did, emote a lot about it and what have you. And then I just let it go. Because when we are gardeners in our little, when we're gardening, have you ever noticed that you don't plant a seed and then go dig it up later? We plant that seed and we nurture it and we take care of it. And sometimes it's like bamboo. Bamboo lays dormant for 5 years, then suddenly just goes whoop, up it goes. So we need to allow for that. We need to allow for the divine timing. And once we get past our need for everything to be perfect, and once we get, that we're trying to control every little detail, we can begin to get specific about what it is that we want. I want that house on the water, blah, blah, blah. That's excellence, and that's excellence. And it's also trusting in the one who is really ultimately going to bring it along. So it's a doozy. I mean, I'm talking about all kinds of stuff that might sound a little woo-woo, but it's how your brain works. And this how you work in conjunction with your brain, with inspired action to bring all this stuff into fruition. It can happen. You believe me? Show me some pinkies. Because I'm going to tell you what, this is the way women who are inspired move through their lives. This is how wise women make decisions on what to do next. This is a rule. And I'm going to tell you that your high vibe mission in this whole thing, it's to see what you can accomplish simply by letting it all go, putting together those goals, and getting right behind them. Believe. Anybody ever see Ted Lasso? Ted Lasso, every time they walked out of that locker room, they all hit that little believe sign. We hit that believe sign every time we just give the details back to God. And I'm inviting you to do that. Yay! I hope this inspired you today. Take some inspired action, leave the details to God, and just really start dreaming and smiling about what's next for you. That's exciting. And that space of time and when from where you birth this idea to when it happens, allow for that to be a time of growth, a time of up-leveled living, and a time of inspiration, because it can be. if you choose it to be. Yay! Pinkies up! Love you guys so much. Tomorrow's Q&A. This is the last day to get your questions in. So do me a favor and go get those taken care of, will you? Don't forget about our sale, savingdinner.com/sale. Don't forget about our special of the week, book boop. That's at savingdinner.com/show. And most of all, I just want to thank you so much for showing up and for all you've done. You've made my life better. And I hope I've done the same for you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.